1, 2, 3, go! Here's to the school we love, we're Trojans, one and all. We always cheer for victory, and never let us fall. Go, go, go! Here's to T-R-O-Y, we'll win you all the way. So get out there, team, and fight, 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 and win today. Hey!
Coming up on the Trojan Football Report, we'll review Troy's big win at Idaho 34-17 from the weekend with Troy head football coach Larry Blakeney. We'll spend some time one-on-one with Troy junior defensive end Tyler Roberts and Troy's athletic trainer Chuck Ash. Plus, we'll look ahead towards the season finale against Louisiana Lafayette. All that and a lot more still to come on the Trojan Football Report. Welcome into the Trojan Football Report. I'm Barry McKnight with the head coach of the Trojans, Larry Blakeney. 34-17 at Idaho. In the great grand scheme of the logistics and dynamics and importance of that game, that's a big win for the Trojans.
Well, it's one for the record books or for great memories or whatever. The trip was certainly long. I think it took us 4 hours and 50 minutes to get out there. Had a headwind. We had a much better situation flying home because we had a tailwind. And we got home in less than 4 hours, the way I understood it. But anyhow, our kids, we took them out a day early, which always concerns you when you break that routine a little bit. Right. But they conducted themselves well, and we got certainly a lot of rest, and we looked fresh in the game that we played against Idaho, and were able to come out with a victory, which is always the ultimate.
When the game was just underway in the third quarter and obviously very hotly contested, I thought Montrese Kitchens had some spectacular contributions in the third quarter when the game was really swinging in the balance. I'm not sure I've seen a defensive back get 3 interceptions in a quarter, but his contributions really helped swing that.
Well, we had a punt blocked. I believe it was after the block punt that he intercepted a 4th down play in the end zone, which gave it to us on the 20. And then he made another fabulous interception on a deep ball down the middle of the field, which he actually caught one-handed.
Yes.
And I'm sure that will be on Sports Center and all that stuff. But and then the one I love him for is the one he made a great break and intercepted, and then made a move on a quarterback, scored a touchdown that sort of sealed their fate and sealed our fate as winning.
Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Week for Montrese Kitchens. Everybody was concerned right before the game started. You got the word from the athletic training staff that Brandon Burks was not going to be able to go, and obviously that's a concern for your team. But Jordan Chun really was effective, and so was Kari Franklin.
They both. I told Jordan late in the week, you probably going to have to carry the load here. And of course, we've learned to count on Kari to do his part because he does a lot of things for this football team. Nobody ever sees him out there covering kicks and punts and different things on return teams. But the catch he made on the first ball we threw in the game was fabulous. And had the guy not dove and ticked his foot, he would have outrun them all for the end zone. But those guys and there's a lot more, and their defensive line gave us some problems, and I was really proud of the offensive line for rising to the occasion and furnishing some creases. And then, of course, you mentioned Chun. He was making great cuts, breaking tackles, and also moving the pile after he got stopped. He would not stop moving his feet, and we took care of the ball there well. We only had 1 turnover, and that was with the wide receiver, and of course the block punt, and then 92 yards and penalties is something else that we got to address, and that's just one of those things that happens to you sometimes.
We'll revisit some of those topics in just a moment, but that's the mindset of the Trojans as they head into the first half at Idaho. Let's take a look at those highlights.
He got over 90 carries, more than any other back in the roster.
3rd and 4, nice catch is made. You got a 1st down and then some along the sideline.
He's their small back. He's only 5'6", listed at 5'6", but boy does he have some speed. You see he'll get the ball to him out of the backfield. He can do something with it when he gets his hands on it.
Silver, all kinds of time going deep, has a man open, touchdown just like that. It is Brian Holmes.
In the secondary on these double moves, they've seen it all year, and once again, as it works in a big
And he sneaks it in along the left side, so it is a 7-3 ball game with 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown this year. That's why Rico got a strong leg, is going to push it. Still at about the 18, and Ruben has it. Great block. Still on his feet. Breaks the tackle too. Really. Woody's in motion. Take the handoff. Keep it on the ground to Franklin. Franklin's still on his feet. This is another big gain for the little guy. .40-yarder is good. So here's another little guy, 5'8". So 3rd and 13. Monahan steps up, nowhere to go. Taken down by Tyler Roberts.
Coaches are excited to have Tyler Roberts back. Monahan's going to step up in the pocket, simply to try to run. Kind of runs right into where
one from 41 yards out. You can tell right away that one is no good. Playing. That's probably going to get a lot of carries as he gets it again. Breaks another tackle, and it's another first down as he rumbles inside Idaho territory.
in the middle of that shotgun run, right off tackle. It's supposed to be a tackle right here. You gotta make that play coming up.
Silvers, great throw and a conversion on 4th down. 2nd and 10. Chung with the carry. He's got blockers in front. He may get into the end zone, and he does. That is just too easy for the big fella. Looks to his left. They want to set up the screen for McCain. This is going to get him over 1,000 yards. May get him into the end zone. One man to beat. Touchdown. Franklin with it, nearly dropped it, has a huge hole. Great block downfield by Ruben, and that is another Trojan first down. That right at midfield. Silvers pumps, looking deep. Going to Holmes again for his 2nd long touchdown of the first half.
Thought Idaho was susceptible to double moves and big plays, and it has worked 2 times for the same player, Ryan Holmes. Again, double split Petrino here in Idaho way back in the early 90s, so they've known each other for a long time, trying to get a stop here, and the pass is complete. Holmes resets, they hand it off to him, great block, and a nice cutback, and a first down for the Trojans. Great.
Those are the first half highlights here on the Trojan Football Report. 24-17 Troy at halftime. A late fumble in the first half, and an opportunity went by. They had the football to begin the 3rd quarter. What's the message to the team at that point?
Well, you know, I thought we were playing pretty good, and you know, really, except for those few errors I mentioned earlier, you know. We had a little fight on our hand up front on offense, and I thought our defensive front, you know, really we were rotating a lot of people, and I thought we got after it good. And as the game went on, we got better on defense. We sort of got in rhythm with their route running and knowing where they were going, and made some good plays on the run, and sacked the quarterback a few times, and really got some good stuff for our football team to grow from. And I think we'll have to improve again to have a chance to beat ULL. But, you know, I was really proud of this football team and this coaching staff. This coaching staff set their mind, and they worked hard putting this plan in for these guys. And we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew it was a difficult trip, and we didn't want to, you know, leave our part out, and they furnished a great plan.
2 observations I want to see if you'll make for us. In the first half, built the lead, among other things, with a couple of deep balls. Took the top off the defense to Brian Holmes a couple of times, and I thought Silvers' throws were spot on.
He played well, I thought. You know, he read the hammer play, he read the plays outside off their defensive ends, and he threw the ball deep exceptionally well. Had a couple of throws into a safety that could have been problematic, but were not. And but the 2 throws to Brian were money. And you know, I thought maybe that we might have had one more in there where we had a chance to get a deep ball. It was just off our fingertips. But he was spot on throwing the deep ball, and did a great job managing the game and running the football some himself.
Well, the second observation we'll hold off until after we take a look at the second half highlights.
He really does. He really is an asset.
Megachon with the carry and another first down for the big back, who had a fantastic opening. Lenahan rolling. There's just nobody open. Finally throws it into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Those are the kind of plays that Lenahan has just committed too many times this freshman camp.
Pick, but you also got to say, you know, Petrino calling and going for it on 4th down. You see Kitchens comes over and makes the interceptions. Lenahan's got to be smarter with the football. No one's open, throw it away or try to run for it.
Make a play. So it's not too detrimental. It's going to be Troy ball anyway. And this is what is a detriment to the Vandals because nobody can tackle that guy. Troy with the fumble, Lenahan through the interception into the end zone. Now Lenahan going deep. And this one is almost intercepted, and is it? It is Kitchens again with his 2nd pick of the ball game.
Get this triple coverage. He forced it 3 defenders there. Oh, Kitchens just makes a one-handed nice grab. Top 10 play right there.
I was going to say ESPN Sports Center top 10.
I love the awesome. But once again, Lenahan throwing into triple coverage. Kitchens comes over, pulls it with one hand.
He doesn't get that. It goes right into the hands of Quadrian Lewis.
That's a good time play.
The screen. Franklin's got it. Got some running room. It's a nice block and inside Vandal territory. Chung with the carry. Patient, waits for the hole, gets a block, gets another 1st down.
Yeah, maybe that's
So it's 2nd and 15. It was on Josh McCain. Oh, and another interception. This is the 3rd one of the game for Kitchens, and it's a pick 6. You got to be kidding me.
This is unbelievable.
Are you kidding me?
Right. Jump on the football. Lenahan stares down his wide receiver, and there was no one there but Kitchens.
He now has 6, number 41, because they are down 2 scores. Troy with the ball, a delayed handoff, and Franklin's got another 1st down. That little guy can run. Right through the middle. 12 turnover margin. There you go.
Take the sack.
Take the sack, absolutely.
The Trojan Football Report includes a visit with one of my favorites, head athletic trainer Chuck Ash. Chuck, you have been here throughout Larry Blakeney's tenure and even longer. Give us a scope on just how long you have been here and how the science of athletic training and the different things have evolved in your experience.
Barry, you have a way of making 28 years seem like a really, really long time. I've been the head athletic trainer. This is my 24th season. All the seasons were with Larry Blakeney, and I was here 4 years before that as assistant trainer. So we've seen a lot of things change. Most of it is, well, you know, the buzzword nowadays is concussions. There's just so much more documentation that goes on with any type of injuries. Luckily we've been, I think we've been a little bit ahead of the curve on some of that technology, and you know, the way surgeries have progressed. You know, 25 years ago we had injuries that there was really no good answer for, and now there's a surgery for everything.
You brought this up before when we've talked about a point of pride. You mentioned that you've been ahead of the curve in the diagnosis and treatment of concussions among athletic training programs around the country. That's been a real point of pride with you, the fact that this university and this athletic department have really been progressive in so many of the different issues involving athletic
Well,
training.
specifically with concussions, it started when Dr. Whiteside was here, you know, back in 1997, I guess it was, and he insisted that we begin computerized balance testing with our post-concussive athletes. We would develop we would establish a baseline, and then once they were injured, we would follow them with this balance testing. And it was just maybe 2 years ago, the NCAA came out and said, hey, this is a really good idea. Maybe we ought to start doing it.
We're taping this interview on the 5th floor of the football complex, or the Hawkins Tower. On the 2nd floor is where you hold forth, and you've got so much in there in terms of facilities, in terms of rehab, in terms of people, and the people that work with you are fantastic. It has grown exponentially, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, 25 years ago it was myself and a GA in that little tiny room down at the field house, and about 10 years ago we moved from Eldridge Hall. We were in Eldridge Hall, I guess, for maybe 10 years or so. It was the original dining hall on campus, and we had a lot of space, but it was an old building, and you had those problems that were associated with an old building. We were really, really blessed. I guess it was 2005 when we moved in downstairs to the new facility.
If you bring up the word blessed, a lot of people think of their association with this football program with Larry Blakeney. Can you talk about your relationship with him and the support that you have gotten from him and given him?
I think what stands out to me in all 24 years, we have an understanding there's a difference in playing hurt and playing injured. And I don't think in the 24 years that we've been doing this, he's ever pressured me or pushed me into getting somebody out there that wasn't really ready. And his attitude has always been, hey, let me know when they're ready and we'll play them. And he's never pushed it or questioned it or gotten involved on that side of things. And that, as an athletic trainer and knowing a lot of other people in the profession that's in Division I athletics, it's not like that everywhere.
I can imagine for sure. Chuck Ash is with us. Final question about your job and the responsibilities here. I always like, anytime we get a chance to talk with you publicly, to get an idea of exactly the scope of your responsibilities in that office. It's a lot of different student athletes and a lot of different responsibilities.
Barry, it's like having 420 children. and every scratch, every boo-boo, everything comes to you and through you. And so we try to do a good job sorting those things out and get them where they need to go, the different specialties or whatever that they can help us the best. And our longtime association with Jeff Dugas out of Birmingham, and before him, Dr. Andrews. Dr. Andrews has been involved with this program since 1974, and he just got so busy in about year 2000. Jeff Dugas became his partner, and he's taken really, really good care of us since then.
And I know your staff as well. There's a real point of pride as well. Allison Gramley and Charisse, and it takes a remarkable level of commitment.
Mm-hmm. It sure does. And Diana, and then we have Brandon Platt that helps us with baseball. Great guy.
There's a lot of different things that they're involved in, and he's the best right here. Head athletic trainer Chuck Ash is with us. As always, a great pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, Barry. My pleasure.
Absolutely. Our student athlete feature this week is with a guy who has been productive really almost ever since he set foot on campus on the football field, and a real leader on this team. Coach, we're talking about junior defensive end Tyler Roberts. I know you think the world of him.
Well, I really do, and he was not a five-star guy or anything like that coming out of high school. He was a solid player. His coach that was on that staff as a D coordinator recommended him to our coaches, and we checked him out and we signed him, and he has been nothing but pleasure since he's been here as a young man, as a student, and as a football player making plays.
Now, the old sports adage about a motor always running at high level, that's Tyler Roberts.
And, he's a tough guy. He's overcome an injury a late season here, and he's playing back to where, in my opinion, where he was.
If you follow the Trojans, you know about his work on the football field. Let's go behind the scenes and spend some time with junior defensive end Tyler Roberts. Welcome back to the Trojan Football Report. Our student athlete feature is with Tyler Roberts, junior defensive end out of Hoover, Alabama. Tyler, first of all, talk about your season to this point. Overall, collectively, not the best season ever. Your season to this point.
Yeah, like you said, it's not the best season ever, but this year, I've had a lot more injuries kind of compared to last year. I had to sit out against Georgia Southern. I didn't play very much at all the week before last, and last week was really my first week going back full. And so that was a good turnaround for me. I actually got to play a lot during that game, and I started feeling better. So
I've talked with one of the coaches before that sticks in my mind about you, and he said, Tyler, in terms of practice, in terms of preparation, rehab, weights, he said Tyler Roberts is incapable of not going hard. You're not wired that way. What does that mean to you?
That's just how I was kind of brought up. And my parents, always raised me to do everything the best who I can. Don't ever take a play off or take a day off, really, and to give everything I've got.
The work that you do on the football field is a result of a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. The rehab specifically seems like it has it gets glossed over sometimes. People don't realize how much it takes to get back on the field, especially and perform at a high level in Division I football. Talk a little bit about the rehab, how difficult that is.
It's almost like another class, because you got to take time out of your day to make sure you get up there and get the time in for all the rehab you do, and we actually do a lot up there. Sometimes I go in there and I'm sweating when I leave, so it's a lot.
Now, also off the football field, as a Division I athlete, being pulled in so many different directions, meetings and practice and study hall, not to mention schoolwork as well. What's the key to managing everything?
It takes a lot, really, more than you think. People don't think about it that way. You know, most students just go to class and go home after the day's over. We go to class, meetings, practice, and some days we have weights before class. And then, like you said, we have treatment to fit in there too. And I mean, sometimes I run out of hours in the day, and there really aren't enough hours in the day to complete everything. So,
you played at a high-level high school program, and are playing here at Troy. Going from Hoover to Troy, what was that path like? What led you here, and how has it gone overall?
It's gone great overall, and you know, a lot of people think it was a big jump, but since Hoover was such a big high school program, I feel like the transition for me from high school to college was a lot easier than most people, because our high school practices were structured the same way that our college practices are. And so that transition for practice wasn't as bad. I think the biggest transition for me was obviously class, because you go from high school and all the classes are generally easy to college when, hey, now I've actually got to study. So.
Final question, we're talking with Tyler Roberts. In your junior season, you've been here enough to really get an idea overall of the sense of the impact that Larry Blakeney has had on this program. In your words, from your perspective, what's it been like playing for Coach?
It's been amazing. You know, I don't think there's another man that coaches that's more personal with you like he is, and I think that, to me, that plays a huge factor in why I came to Troy. And so.
Tyler Roberts is with us here. One final game in the season for the Trojans. Good luck with it. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Great to have him with us here. We'll have more coming up in just a moment on the Trojan Football Report. Here on the Trojan Football Report, it's time for our Trojan Top 5, the top 5 highlights from Troy's big win at Idaho on Saturday afternoon.
Silver, all kinds of time. He has the man open touchdown just like that. It was Ryan Holmes. 3rd and 13. Monahan steps up, nowhere to go. Taken down by Tyler Roberts.
He's going to try to run. Right into where
Monahan rolling. There's nobody open. Finally throws it into the end zone, and it is intercepted. Those are the kind of plays that Lenahan has just committed teaming at times this freshman year.
Okay, but you also got to say, you know, Petrino hauling and going for it on 4th down. You see Kitchens comes over and makes an interception. Lenahan's got to be smarter with the football. No one's open, throw it away or try to run for it.
Now Lenahan going deep. And this one is almost intercepted, and isn't. It is Kitchens again with his 2nd pick of the ball game.
If there's triple coverage, he forced it 3 defenders there. Oh, Kitchens just makes a nice grab. Top 10 play right there.
I was going to say ESPN Sports Center top 10.
He's going to awesome. But once again, Lenahan going into triple coverage. Kitchens comes over. Pause it.
He doesn't get that. It goes right into the hands of Walker Lewis. 7-15. Oh, and another interception. This is the 3rd one of the game for Kitchens, and it's a pick 6. You got to be kidding.
This is unbelievable. Are you kidding me, right? A jump on the football. Lenahan stares down his wide receiver, and there's no one there but Kitchens.
He now has 6.
Back again with Coach Larry Blakeney. Trojans win at 34-17. If you do the math, as we mentioned, 24-17 at halftime. Your defense pitched a shutout in the second half.
They did. As I mentioned, they got in rhythm with them a little bit, and we had the big plays by Montrese Kitchen that sort of sealed the game score-wise too. And but we played good against their run and got them into a passing game and gave us the opportunity to get teed off on pass rush and got back there to the quarterback a few times and you know, it sort of tilted everything our way, kept the momentum going, and like you said, took it to the finish line and got us a good win.
Second win in a row for Troy, a chance to close out the season in your career with a 3-game winning streak. First of all, let's talk X's and O's. Louisiana Lafayette, X's and O's wise, Jimmy's and Joe's wise, that's a good football program.
Yeah, they're really good, and they're into the option stuff, you know, with the gun, the dot the I behind the quarterback, and they're good. They got good running backs and big personnel up front on defense. They're probably as good as anybody in our league, and which makes them a good defense. And And they've been the sort of the marquee program here in this league for a while, and we got them at 11:30 on the 29th, I believe, and after an open date, and we should be well, and we should be motivated. And I know they'll have their guys ready, so we got to match that.
Your last game as a Troy head football coach in 24 years, everybody will be talking about that. That's the story of the game away from football. Number one, how will it feel for you? Number two, how will you keep your players with their eyes on the game? There's going to be, I know it's going to be a difficulty, quite frankly.
Well, I'm not sure how I'm not sure, how I will respond. I hope that I'm able to do my job, which is to try to coach the team and make sure to manage the coaches and we get the job done or give them the best opportunity to win the game. And that'll be my number one issue, my number one goal and task is to do that. And really, I don't do a lot on game day, but I do monitor everything and try to make sure we make good decisions on things. And I think we might have to be pretty aggressive against these guys. You never know, and so I'm looking forward to that. I do not really have a plan for how I'll react to all the hoopla or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try to be Larry. And that's going to be it.
That's worked spectacularly so far.
And I just hope we can find a way to win. That'll make everything else easier.
Well, Coach will be coaching in his final game at Troy, and I'll go ahead and issue the clarion call as you watch this. And if you haven't bought your tickets, you are somebody who is invested in Troy, you need to be there for the game. 11:30 in the morning on November the 29th. Tickets are available at TroyTrojans.com or by calling 877-878-WINS. Coach, we look forward to it very much.
Well, we're going to have a little get-together afterwards, too. Former personnel, former players, former coaches, anybody that's been down through the years close to the Trojans, come see us.
That's Coach Larry Blakeney. We hope you get a chance to make a chance to go watch the Trojans in the season finale against Louisiana Lafayette. We also hope you have enjoyed our programming. The Troy football games, of course, we've enjoyed having the highlights for you, and we hope you get a chance next year to listen to again and to watch another edition of the Trojan Football Report.